So we're back here where we come on the trail in front of Anderson's Trailer Park. Now we're going to follow the road bed down toward the Fenholloway. As I'm progressing past, you see how much wider the bed is here? And even on the opposite side. Makes me wonder if at some point through here wasn't some kind of changeover or something. It's awful wide through here. Really wide. As we're walking this section, there's lots of spots here you can tell where people over the years have been just driving through to get to Old Dixie. They put up concrete barriers, try to slow that down and stop it. Easing on toward the Fenholloway. Got some old Spanish bayonets growing along the edge of the rail bed. Easing on through. It's a peaceful, quiet walk here. Now we hit a big, wide open. Almost the road that comes from 19 to the mill. That's where we headed in that direction. Looks like somebody dug some holes. 1, 2, 3 of them. Across through here. You can see the old gravel. See some more Spanish bayonets poking out of the woods. On the other end of this tram, where the train went on the north end, down toward where Walmart is now, before they cleared the section, there's been at least one murder there and several, I think at least 2 to 3 bodies found along the old railroad track. I guess everything got to have a little dark history. Now here you can see it widens out quite a bit. Now here's something. That's concrete. I don't know if that was just dumped there, or if maybe that was some part of the railroad system. It's definitely concrete. It's right on the edge of the bed. Seeing where some old roads have been made to interject in it. We're not going down none of them. We know what's along them homes. So you can see some barriers that were put up. Try to keep people from coming in there. So it must have been a problem. We almost to the main highway. Ain't seen no more sign of railroad other than the raised bed that we're walking down. Oh, I thought that was a concrete pad, but it's old mattress. So I'm walking here and I find a drainage canal underneath the old railroad bed. Kind of low there. Goes across over here. Dry right now. Nothing spectacular about that. We ain't gonna try to get down there. That technically could have been added afterwards. It's hard to say. After the bed had done, or the tracks and all had done been removed. One thing I like too about Florida is the variety of plants. Look at them old fern looking plants. They're not fern. Everywhere the sunlight pokes through. That may be kind of hard to tell, but at this point the bed is probably widened up to probably near 100 foot wide at least. It's over there where you can see the brighter in the background is the start of the bed, the road bed, and it comes up, comes across. You see there's 2 big pines. That big pine over there is the other side of it. Hear that old chicken? From this vantage point you can plainly see how high we are on this road bed. We almost see that semi truck just go by. We're not gonna film crossing, we're just gonna go straight across and straight on down toward where the Fenholloway is. See what's down that way. I can always see a wall or something down there with growth on it. So this is the part of the railroad bed that's always intrigued me. I wanted to see it toward the river. What is this? That's some kind of building. It's fell down along the track, or maybe railroad ties. Oh, that's what that is, look. Let's get over where we can take a little better look. This must have been a dumping spot when they were tearing it up. That's why we didn't see none down there, I guess. Well, maybe they had piled them up before we were using them, took and see them down beside the creek, as far as you can see. Railroad ties. I don't see no iron though. Iron would have been more valuable than the wood. So we on the right track. We headed down the old bed. Look at all, you can still see railroad ties out there. Now they still going on. From there all the way down. So that's why we didn't find them back there probably. You can see the railroad bed here. We're headed toward the Fenholloway. I'll come back another day and scout that creek. See that big pile of cross ties. Easing on down. Now you can tell this road here is big enough for a vehicle with no problem. Here's a good little spot to see the width of this bed. Left side, right side. Let's walk out here and look at this. Little slough. You can tell how many generations of junk. Well, that'd be awesome to walk. Oh, that's the river. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's the river. You see the creeks on both sides of the trestle. You know, areas like that, that's a bottle hunter's paradise. See, you going up here. I guess that's to keep you from coming through here and flying over the side. Let's get up here a little closer. There's a rail across the river. That's a piece of railroad iron that they built this out of. So you didn't come this far not to see the river. You can see the Fenholloway flowing from that way. Coming down. I had hoped to see some sign of the old trestle crossing, but there don't appear to be nothing left. I don't see even a remote pillar, nothing. I don't know. I'd have assumed it come this far, I had to pull up some maps and see. These on down a minute. So that's looking back up at the bed. And I see what looks like a block wall over there. I don't know if I can get through that or not. And the same thing on the other side. So I'm wondering if the bed didn't shift somewhere and we got off of it. You see that? There's a concrete wall and I see one over here that looks like it. I'm gonna try to get over there a little closer. I'm gonna let y'all look at the water. If you see one of them mutant gators, holler. Yeah, it had to have been where it was at. And somehow I got off the bed back there. When we crossed over. And that's the other side. So trestle itself's long gone. The water ain't as clear as it was a couple months ago when we was down there planning trying to do that Fenholloway trip. So that must be what you see from the road out there at the junction. Looks like vines growing. You see the supports there. We're not going to try to go that more hassle than it's worth with the landowners along the way. So I don't like hassle. So we're going to go back and maybe hike the other side from where we stopped off back toward Walmart. So here's what I think happened. That's the road we came in on just now that I thought was the bed. I think that the bed switched over before you cross the road. And I think that's what that was. And I'll show you why I think that when we get back up here. That's another reason too I like to go find stuff sometimes I don't know nothing about, like this railroad stuff. I've always been intrigued by it, but never really studied it. So it's cool to get out here and see it. And then it raises questions because you don't know. It gives you something to research and look up. So we're back here at the main highway where we crossed over. We came from that way. So this is where we come in on this road and figured out the bed was actually over there. If you remember, before we ever crossed over, I showed you how much wider the bed was getting. Everything I'm gonna tell you is theory. I don't know. I'm gonna look it up though. Based on how wide it got there and the two sections coming across through the swamp build up with cross ties on the side, I'm gonna say there was some kind of switch over or change in there, and that this little spur we're on may have been some type of staging area or extra cart storage or to get a train out of the way of some sort. And that might be why we're seeing two different beds here. But ain't no doubt from the pillars over there that whatever that was had a bridge across. And there's no sign of a bridge across on this one, just the stoppage on the end. And all that being loosely based on how wide the bed got before we ever crossed over. I'll look it up when I slow down. Maybe I'll remember to share that with you. A lot of information on our local railroads has been done over the past years. So I'm sure we can find an answer. I mean, both of these were beds. You can see the gravel in this one and the gravel's in the other one. We've crossed back over here, and as of most places like this you see that's kind of easy to get to but out of the eye, there's been its share of dumping here on this end over the years. The only thing that we've seen signs of the railroad other than the raised bed is some gravel. One sign that we believe was part of the railroad marker. I have to look that up. And the railroad iron that was down there at the end that they used to block from going over in the river. When you're walking the trail, you can definitely see the elevation distance beside you. I'm holding this phone about chin level. You can definitely see how defined that bed still is. You know, here and there's a few spots where you can get off without a lot of trouble. And check out the parts of the old bed. I sure don't see the signs of homeless that everybody talked about. That may be closer to town, I imagine. And that is one thing to note if you decide to walk this. Parts of the trail go down the bed, other parts of the trail go down beside the railroad bed. Just kind of look around.